Alright, so next to plant we have the Armenian cucumbers, and we're making them a special trellis over in the second community garden bed. And we're using 2 planks of wood. They're propped up diagonally against the fence, and then we're putting another piece of fencing that's been straightened out, and we're gonna attach that to the 2 boards so that again we have a nice diagonal trellis. And then we'll plant the Armenian cucumbers at the bottom and let them climb up diagonally, and their fruits, as they get heavy, will fall down underneath while the foliage stays up top to collect the sun and do the photosynthesis. So here are the planks of wood propped up, and we're propping them up against the main posts so they have extra strength. And then this is the piece of fencing that we're going to work in over top to make the trellis. And then we've got our little Armenian guys. Can you see me?
Mm-hmm.
And then we've got our little Armenian guys. And again, along the bottom, 3 inches apart. No spade or shovel needed. I'm just going to put my fingers in there, make a little indentation. And you want to water these before you separate them and take them out of the container. But other than that, it's pretty simple. Start putting them in the ground, and we'll show you that next.
Cool. So I'm going to take these away, but pretty much these 2 posts will be where you want to plant them, and then
Between those 2?
Get some nails or screws.
From where?
From the house.
I should mention that aside from adding the nutrients to the soil and turning it so it's nice and loose, you also want to give it a good watering. We did this yesterday, so it's kind of dried out a bit. You want to make sure the soil is nice and moist and easy to work with for the plant's new rooting system to get started. Now Roberto went to get some screws to make the trellis more sturdy, but I don't have to wait for him. It's okay to go ahead and plant, since I know we want the cucumbers along this side of the bed and between these 2 main posts all along there. And that way it'll already be done by the time he even gets back with the trellis parts. And I can move on to the next job. Extreme Gardening Mycos. So the other thing I didn't mention yet that we've been putting in where we're planting the cucumbers is a little bit of this Extreme Gardening Mycos. And we're not 100% positive that John wants us to use this for the cucumbers, but we used it for the peppers, and so we're just assuming it's got to be good for everybody. And just putting a little sprinkle, making a little hole where you want to plant. taking like a pinch and sprinkling it around that spot, and then grabbing your little start, putting him in there. In go our little Armenians. We've got one more, so keep working. So what I do is I have the one hand gloved, and that's the hand I'm pushing into the soil, where you'd really get that dirt underneath your fingernails. And then my other hand, again, be real gentle when you separate your plants so you don't hurt their new little roots. So dig the hole, add a dab of that, Mycos, and then I get to feel the nice damp rich soil with my other hand and kind of press him in there so he's sturdy in his new spot. And we're doing the Armenians 3 inches apart as well. Since they'll be growing up vertically, we don't have to worry too much that they're going to have enough area space at the bottom. What are you doing, Roberto?
So what I'm doing is we're going to just break off this piece, which is just scrap wood at one point, and I just measured from one end to the other. And we're gonna put them up side by side, so it's got a top and it's nice and strong for the cucumbers, because these are gonna be the biggest ones. And then it'll also give us a nice area for us to just go in and wrap this wire around with some other wire. And for that, we got some pliers too. So we're just gonna make the right cut and then hammer in a couple of nails and it's set.
All right, and we'll show you the final result shortly.
Okay.
I'll film you putting it up.
So, since the wire was too short, this just came off a recycled cage that was there. Since the wire was too short, I just brought the sides in and then made this longer to come out as well, so then this one we can secure it to the fence and it stays nice and sturdy.
And that's how it looks.
Yep.
And there's the cucumbers already planted nicely at the bottom. Vertical growing. Ta-da!
You want to catch a side of this side?
Okay. Oh, okay.
Cool. So this is just 2x4, and then we put another one in the back just because the nails are too long, and plus it just adds a little bit of reinforcement to it. Go through the first one, go through the second, and the third, and then just bend your nails, and you're set. And then this is actually, these three are holding up this together. So those are the two nails going right through the center and then coming out here. And then down here is just twine, putting that together. So this is something really, really quick to make your own trellises.
It's really quick and it's really simple.
It's probably under 10 minutes.
Yeah, it was under 10 minutes.
All recycled materials.
All recycled materials under 10 minutes. A creative new trellis for vertical growing.